ended up passing away. Never sat well with.
Didn't know there was a new Mobb Deep though.
Yeah, Havoc and clearing the torch.
Crazy, man.
Yeah, you can't do that.
They still touring too. He takes rapper Noid with him. If you remember Noid, rapper Noid does the Prodigy.
Like 2 weeks
ago. He does the Prodigy verses, and yeah, they've been touring. Some people have a problem with that. I don't. Keeping the man alive. I don't have a problem with him. And what's going on in this motherfucker right here?
Not a goddamn thing. Like nobody that I feel like supposed to be here is here.
This the room?
I had a lot of work to do and just happened to look up and it wasn't nobody talking on the stage and I'm sitting on it like, oh shit. And I'm trying to stay away from politics, you feel me? So it ain't too much on my algorithm to talk about that they ain't already talked about. So
we can talk about anything in the...
What you said? What you doing right now, YG?
Yeah, I'm about to drop the load on me.
Oh shit, that's good shit.
Hold on.
Cha-ching.
Cha-ching.
Yes, DJ. My boy. That's DJ.
What's going on, gang?
Now, who won the dunk contest?
Please say no, Jamila. What's going on?
Queen is alright.
You never heard anybody in their life say, I was messing with this girl from Queens. You never heard that. You will hear Mount Vernon, you will hear Beacon, you will hear Westchester before you hear that. Ain't nobody going to Queens, fuck that.
Queens is residential.
Queens ain't nobody going to Queens and mess with
Queens got the world's biggest body.
Hey man, we about to go down to we got a game. We're going out to Roosevelt Island. You know, we play football out there, man. Then we're gonna go to Harlem Tavern and watch the game. Hey yo, I can't go. Why? Oh, remember that joint I was telling you about, Sundone? Oh, who was it? Jamila from Queens? Yeah, you never heard nobody say that, bro. Jamila from Queens. None of y'all ever had a girlfriend from Queens unless you lived in Queens. I had a whole apartment in Queens. I signed on a lease. I paid a year rent and spent 0 nights in that bitch. I couldn't get out the lease. I'm staying out here. I couldn't get out the lease. I paid rent for a whole year. I ain't going out there, bro. Oh, God.
Because Queens, those people be in the house, you know.
No, literal houses.
Yeah, they be in the house.
Like,
that was the suburbs back in the day.
That is definitely.
You know what I hate about Queens? Queens is, you know why I hate Queens? Because you have 33rd Street, 33rd Road, 33rd Ave, and 33rd Place. Like, what?
Yeah,
I hate that shit, bro.
Oh, God.
From Brooklyn, I always get lost in Queens. I be like, what you said? Is it 33rd what? 33rd Road. I'm lost. You on the other side on 33rd Place.
Yeah, we have 30th Road, which crosses 31st Street and 21st Avenue.
Yeah, like the houses be like 208 and 104 Fab, but it's like 208-06, 104.
-06.
Yeah. I hate that shit.
This is the dumbest girl of all time.
Supposed to
Hey,
make
man, where you
sense.
going, man? Oh, we in Fort Greene, you know, you was in Fort Greene, you know, getting drinks with your boys. And you never saw, hey, man, where you going, man? Oh, man, we out in Fort Greene, yo. We about to go to Astoria. Said no one ever.
Can't figure out how
Literally never been said in the history of the world.
they go to the Coliseum. They go to the.
No, they
Man, where
end
you
up there
at,
by
man?
accident.
Man, we over on Troop and Lewis, man. We just got out the unit. We about to go to the Nostrand Ave. We're going to the A, so we can get downtown Brooklyn and head up to Queens. No one's ever said that in the history of the world. I don't even like Brooklyn like that. And I would live in Brooklyn. I thought that, bro.
And you know what? Another thing, it's so hard to get to Queens from Brooklyn. Taking the train, you gotta go to Manhattan. You can't just take the train to Queens. It makes no sense.
If you're driving, it's faster.
You can
Alright,
take the G.
You can drive.
Yeah, but the G don't go nowhere. Like it don't.
Well, that's true. And it doesn't show up. That's why they call it the ghost
Hey,
train.
Scotty, do you know Speedy Romeo?
I don't.
This pizza shop? Oh, okay. Okay.
I mean,
Anyway,
I've never.
you never been? Okay, I was wondering about you. But anyway, you just like. So let me give you my borough rankings. This is very easy. You could guess. 1 is Manhattan, obviously. 2 is the Bronx. 3 is Brooklyn. 4 is Staten Island. 4 is Queens. I'm done.
Wow. Staten Island, please.
Staten Island gave us the Woo. Staten Island gave us the Woo, and Queens gave us McDowell's. I'm done.
Yeah, we got
Cindy, Nikki,
we got LL Cool J.
Boys.
Nas, Run DMC, 50.
LL Cool J grandma stay down the street.
Hollis?
Y'all proving my point.
Hollis. Were you ranking girls from the boroughs? Is that what that ranking was?
Oh no, I had to change that order around if I was doing the girls. But if I was doing girls, it would probably be
Let's see where Bronx.
if I did girls, it would be Bronx, Brooklyn, Manhattan, Queens, Staten Island. That would be it if I was doing girls. I think the finest girls in the Bronx, but I like y'all know I'm Latino now, so I had to look at the Bronx.
I'm going Dykeman, right? Go to Dykeman.
Yeah, I'm too old for Dykeman now. I ain't going. Oh Lord. Hey yo, I had missed the double the what do you call it, the alternate street parking one day. I was working. It might have been yelling at y'all, and I forgot to move my car back. So they towed it up to Dykeman. But yo, you have to go down to 40 something and 10th to pay for it. Have anybody gotten this before? You have to go down to the 40s, all in the west side to pay, and then you have to go all the way up to Dykeman to get your car. They won't let you pay at the spot.
Yeah.
Huh?
Oh, I thought they leave it there because I heard you got to go to 42nd and West Side Highway or somewhere near there.
Yeah, but then I had to go all the way up to Dykeman to get the car.
I had to go to some
that's
obscure,
sad.
I had to go to some obscure place in the Bronx where, I'm like, where is this at in the Bronx to actually pick up the vehicle? It's crazy. It's like hidden. Like
Yeah.
you never have been
It's
there.
so shady.
It's like out of
That's
40
your
years.
car over here.
Like a 3 hour.
Yeah.
It's like a 3 hour endeavor because I was Upper West. I got my car towed up to Dykeman, but I had to go down from Upper West to 40 whatever. They go all told it was like 3 hours. It was insane.
It's a process. It's definitely they really make you suffer, and they want to keep people. They don't want to let people know where their cars are. Like I had to go through all this to get the exact location.
Sometimes I think they want to run people out of town, low key.
It felt like that.
Hit them with the fees. Yeah, they hit them with the fees, man.
It felt like that.
You know how to get you.
No, Michael, I had no tickets, man. It was, what is it, 9 to 10:30, so you double park. No, it was 9 to 10:30. And when I remembered, it was 12:30. I completely forgot. It's I want my car's out there. I had no tickets. They just towed it up there. I had no tickets. All told it was $300.
Yeah, if you do the math, because the fine is $65. Some people just take the L on the ticket. Most of the time they don't tow you. So they're just like, you know what, 65 is cheaper than a garage. So they'll just...
No. I got mine towed, Scotty, not because I stayed in the spot, but I had moved it for the double park and didn't move it back in
Oh, wait, you double parked?
Yeah,
he
you know when
was double
I moved to the alternate side. You know when you can move it to the other side, so they can. Where I live, you can double park.
Yeah,
And then I
we don't go
crossed the middle of the road. Yeah, I was in the middle of the road.
Oh, Jesus.
But you're allowed to be in the middle of the road during.
Yeah, you're allowed to. They do that in Brooklyn. They do that in Brooklyn a lot. In my block where I have my car, we just have to sit in the car, and then they're fine. They don't make you move it because the street cleaner doesn't come by anymore.
And them city tow guys are reckless. They don't care how they hook your joint up. Reckless.
Oh yeah, they didn't care. That actually got me. I no longer do. Scotty, I don't know how you do it, man. You're too old to be doing street park. You need to get a spot, bro.
I'm about to give up. I'm about to take in my mother's and just leave it there.
Once you reach like 39, once you reach your late 30s and you make over $70,000, well, now I guess $85,000, you should be paying for a spot. I'm sorry, bro.
The spots near
Can't do
me.
that getting up every morning.
No,
and
they're
shit.
Yeah, can't do
you know how much the spots are in Washington Heights?
Let me
The
get.
spots
Yeah,
in
my
Washington
homegirl.
Heights.
Yeah, my homegirl told me the one by her was like $850 a month.
Like a studio apartment.
How much
That's
is yours?
fair. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, I don't have the spot, but I know up in Washington Heights, I think the cheapest I saw was around $500 or $600.
Yeah,
Downtown, the cheapest.
I don't think you should get a vehicle if you can't afford that parking situation. I think you got to incorporate that to your ecosystem because the other ways it's just a real headache.
I'm about to drive it into the Hudson River, to be honest. It's not worth it.
What, having a car in New York?
It's not worth having the car. I can't do it.
If you have a spot, it is. Just saying.
Yeah, if you have a spot, but I'm not going to pay for it. I'm too cheap. And I don't use. Yeah, but I don't use it though.
You get a good price if you're doing the monthly. You save a lot of money because the tickets otherwise add up to way over that.
The tickets are cheaper than the cost of the garage. Make that make sense.
You know what? Years ago, there was a spot in Boston. They did some research. A group of people who own condos, the prices weren't going up. But you know how they were making money? From their parking. They would rent out the parking spaces had more value than the freaking actual place where they was living. That is crazy.
All right, you want to check this out? I just I got an email from a colleague. They're selling a spot over in the West Village in this building.
How much?
$500,000.
500,000?
A lifetime spot?
$500,000 for an indoor parking spot. So I emailed her and I said, I'm just curious, how much is it per month to maintain it? Because that's not like what the fee is to keep it in that garage. It's the spot, $500,000. To keep it in there, it's $800 a month. So it's $500,000 for the rights to the spot that you can transfer and sell, and $800 a month to keep that alive. And by the way, she's like, you know what? I think we can get it for $400,000.
Where is it?
It's on Charles Street in the West Village. Inside funny enough, it's inside Steve Witkoff's development on Charles Street.
There you go.
And there you go.
That sounds right. Yeah. There you go.
That's the kind of money, like, you don't fucking care. What's $500,000 for somebody that, has a net worth of, $500 million? They don't.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what that spot
They
is
just
for.
want a spot.
But regular people, you can just get a spot. You can just get a spot. It won't be there, though. It won't be on Charles Street.
It won't be there.
My nephew used to go to BCS. You know BCS, Scotty?
No.
Village Community School? Oh, it's over there.
Oh, Village. Wait, you talking about? Young.
Yeah. He was elementary school, and I had seen that kind of wealth about him, but I had never really gotten the lower Manhattan $500,000 spot wealth until he would go over his friend's house, and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna go pick him up and go get ice cream and stuff. Those townhouses down there are insane. Elevators.
Oh, it's sickening. Yeah, they're
It's
on
just, you know,
elevator.
the whole, it's just like, you know,
Different world.
$50 million joints. So that's the people who are buying those spots. This is a drop
Oh
in the
yeah,
bucket.
for sure. For sure. Yeah, they need a spot. Like they'll just like whatever it is, they're gonna pay for it.
Because they didn't take the first floor and turn it into it. Because their first floor doesn't have that. Is it called a carriage? Not a carriage house, but the ones that have the
Like
ones
a
that are in the
masonette?
building.
Like
Is that what it's called when the spot's in the house?
Oh, you mean the parking spot or the
Yeah, you can have a garage.
entrance?
Yeah, and you can have a garage as part of the house. Like, they always don't have those.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, sometimes they're called. Well, there may be individual tenants within a complex, or they're called like masonettes. That's typically what it is.
Masonettes.
They have a lot of those on Strawberry's Row, old school for the horses back in the day, and they just leave.
That's where my grandma from, Stravensville.
Yeah, nah, Strivers Road very limited.
Down.
Yeah, very limited. Yeah, because you got to go through. Yeah, it's not. Yeah, that's like once in a lifetime spots up there.
And if you're driving a nice car, you don't want to park on the street because people can't park. Your bumper gets scratched. Somebody driving a bike run by your mirrors. It's just not worth it.
Oh, they do it every day. You can see Bugattis and fucking $200,000 cars on the street. Busta Rhymes' mom lives up there around. I guess it was his mom or his auntie, and he was in it's called Bugatti, right? Or Maybach, one of those two. And they just parked it right on the street. I was just stunned. I couldn't believe it. They don't care, Kevin. These people, you be bumping the back, boom. They don't care.
Yeah,
Then you come out, you see a new dimple.
Yeah, I would never.
See a new dimple every day. You come out, new scratch.
Because you have to have two spots, right? Really, because you got one spot for your luxury vehicle, and then you got a spot for your run-around vehicle. Because you're not gonna be taking like your Maserati to the supermarket and running around town with that. Like, well, at least I wouldn't be doing a luxury vehicle. You're not gonna. That's those are not cars to be running errands with, right? So, yeah, you probably need two spots, really.
You know that little plastic thing and a little it's like a little it sits in your trunk, but it's like a rubber protector, almost like a condom.
Flip it out on the bumper. Yeah,
the little condom for your bumper. Yeah.
Bumper guard.
Yeah, things are thick too. Like those joints are very, very thick. I had a malfunction. I told y'all the other day in a car wash where the conveyor belt sandwiched the vehicle that we were in. Like the vehicle hit the car. We had the car in front of us and then the car in back of us. And the name of the spot, it's in Brooklyn, 1096 Atlantic Avenue. And I'm going through the process of, just making a claim. And while we're talking about cars, but has anybody experienced that type of shit? Like where it's the belt malfunction? That shit was scary because you're in neutral, right? And you feel the car moving and you're like, well, do I hit the brake? Do I go, like, what do you do to prevent further damage? You just kind of panic and you don't know what to do. And we weren't able to see the damage until like later on when the lights came on, notifying that something was wrong. And it tore up the passenger side, upper undercarriage, whatever you call it, like shredded that shit. So now I'm in the process of helping, and I happened to be recording it at the time because I was like a little kid, and so I was able to establish the exact time that the incident took place. So it was just like a weird experience. This was on Friday.
Well, at least he's safe.
Yeah.
Okay. We are live now across multiple recording studios, creating the master record, striking the master chord, and drawing the flaming soul. All hail, mighty Megatron, the Catholic Bath versus the Muslim cult hordes of the world. Barth's problem is he doesn't have the time to read books anymore. Because he's always talking on his cell phone. Okay, this is number 15. 15 is the number of antagonism and of Catholicity. Christianity is at present divided into two churches, the civilizing church and the savage church, the progressive church and the stationary church. One is active, the other is passive. One has mastered the nations and governs them always, since kings fear it. The other is submitted to every despotism and can be nothing but an instrument of slavery. The active church realizes God for man and alone believes in the divinity of the human word as an interpreter of that of God. What, after all, is the infallibility of the Pope, with the autocracy of intelligence, confirmed by the universal vote of faith? In this case, one might say the Pope ought to be the first genius of his century. Why? It is more proper, in reality, that he should be an average man. His supremacy is only more divine for that because it is in a way more human. Do not events speak louder than rancors and irreligious ignorances? Do not you see Catholic France sustaining with one hand the tottering papacy, and with the other holding the sword to fight at the head of the army of progress? Catholics, Jews, Turks, Protestants already fight under the same banner. The crescent has rallied to the Latin cross, and all together we struggle against the invasion of the barbarians and their brutalizing orthodoxy. Yakov! It is forever an accomplished fact. In admitting new dogmas, the chair of St. Peter has solemnly proclaimed itself progressive.
Answer your question?
Yeah, go ahead.
Did you take over the Church of Buttercup? That's why there's a Church of Buttercup too.
What?
Did you occupy the Church of Buttercup?
Did I occupy it? No, I created a new. I mean, this is my house that I created.
Oh, really? Because it has the same name of Buttercup's original house. Now she has Church of Buttercup with the number 2 after it. So I was thinking maybe something happened to.
Oh, maybe they kicked her old house or she lost it somehow.
Mm.
But she was in here earlier. She said hello.
She did.
That was all she said, and she left.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Thanks. What are you doing?
I'm reading a book here. About to suntan, then go for a jog. What are you doing?
Just flipping the channels. Clubhouse. Just going through the channels.
Yeah.
Have fun.
Okay,
Not one for listening to books. Thanks.
Oh, that's okay. Take care, bye. The fatherland of Catholic Christianity is that of the sciences and of the fine arts, and the eternal word of the gospel, living and incarnate in a visible authority, is still the light of the world. On to page 60.
I mean, you know, the kids that come out of there are really going to have a positive. They're not, I can't say they're not.
nonsensical, but I think you have a lot of like realist things to look at there. So I'm about to go into a dead spot here.
I see the derivation of this position. It sounds arbitrary, but I see the historical basis of it. Or it feels arbitrary.
Why can't you be normal like this and chill it? Why do you take full advantage
yesterday?
Why do you take full advantage of your white privilege?
I got a lot of accolades yesterday. I don't acknowledge these bullshit terms like white privilege. I think it's a bunch of crap. So try again.
Well, if we had a lie detector, and you were submitted to a lie detection test, I think you'd be found to be not telling the truth.
So you're making up a story now?
Yes, I'm using my creative, critical thinking.
They were paper, not lawyer. Go ahead.
It's very.
I'm using my creative.
Say something based in reality, though.
I'm using my creativity, critical thinking about the dynamics of social interactions and how certain people are privileged over others. It's called.
Talk more than anybody, though.
So we look at. I just want to finish my point. So when we look at celebrity, when we look at wealth, when we look at intelligence, when we look at elders, we understand that certain people in certain positions are conferred more deference, more lenience, more support. Whether or not it's earned is irrelevant. You are questioning the existence of white privilege.
I'm not questioning.
And we know that it's just like, or exists, but not in regards to your racial, makeup. It exists on your economic basis. It exists on your age. It exists on your intellect. It exists on your physical strength. But not on your race. That's what can happen. Go ahead.
I mean, you think the United States... I mean, there's just no factual basis for this. So you think the United States... Do you think the United States was designed to be intellectually on top? Even though there were no... Really? So how did they know how they perform intellectually? Huh?
We said, how do you live... Now, we were talking about the law.
So you want to take the subject now?
No, this is the same thing. Can you stop interrupting, bro? Like, come on, man. You're being so civilized. Money. Can you just calm down for 5 seconds?
I can't help it that you're slow. I'm fast. Don't stop whining and complaining. There are only 2 people in the room.
Are you done? You're still acting like a child.
No, you're acting like a freak. So what's the
Okay.
point? Just change the
It's just gotta, like, I gotta hook up with some psychologists so we can hear.
Yeah, you need one. I'll recommend one.
Bro.
Benjamin, could you make me a mod and then I will just like
The situation. But I just want to say to McZed, do you agree that white privilege doesn't...
Benjamin left.
I do not think that white privilege does not exist. I do think that there's white privilege.
Okay, thank you. Now, El Normo is so vehemently denying its existence. We know he's being very dishonest. And my question to you, McZed, is how do you live in a world where people are constantly lying? Thank you to your profession. I just take it that there's always somebody somewhere doing what fucking El Normo's doing. And I know it has to make you insane.
Yeah.
So how do you do it, McZed?
And by the way, some people play victim all the time, Congressman. We gotta live in that world too. I offer you as an example. privileged person who never pleads victim. It's humiliating for a man to do that, Concrete. I mean, come on, be a man.
How do you do it, Big
Stop.
Time?
Stop
No,
it.
I mean it seriously.
Me too.
How do you do it, Big Time?
How do you live in a world with liars?
Not only are they there, but they're constantly lying to you. How do you deal with it?
Growing up.
Sure.
Growing up. Concrete. Be a man. That's what it's called.
I mean, mostly I would kind of agree with him from like an American sensibility that America has rampant liars and con men that steal and defraud the public. And it is even, has always even been part of the reputation of America, was some guy just like manipulating some fresh off the boat person to their own advantage, whether politically or just for robbery. It's been an old trope of the experience in America. Your question is like, how do you live? I'm saying Norm is somewhat mostly right in saying it's a grow up kind of a thing. We live in a world with liars, and we train ourselves to be cynical and skeptical about who and what we trust.
So when you say grow up, you're just talking about how I react to it, or how
No, I'm saying we all take personal responsibility of weighing our own confidence in what other people present as true.
Well, that's not what I'm trying to get at. What I'm trying to get at is, how do you stay calm in the face of somebody who is lying to you? And how do you navigate those interactions where it's just a bombardment of lies? What do you do? I'm asking. No, they're lying. I'm asking, like, in a
Okay.
you know,
If I had a lie,
methodological way.
I'll tell you this, if I spotted somebody lying about me while I was present,
No,
which,
not
you know,
about you. Just lying to you. Just continuously
lying about something else to me, I would still feel pretty comfortable if I spotted the lie, right? I've got the proof in my head. I can just wait until he's done speaking and then dismantle everything he's saying and reduce his credibility to rubble. So, like, I'm sitting pretty.
Yeah, what about in this type of
I'm not
venue?
usually like looking to dismantle someone's position and point out their lies or their overstatements. But like, if I had that, yeah, I could immediately, if I wanted to, just disavow everything he just said.
Yeah, but the thing.
Just prove it immediately.
Yeah, but the thing is, we're talking about something abstract, like white privilege, and he obviously doesn't care about his reputation because he won't offer his blatant lie. Right? And so,
About white privilege exists.
yeah, and he's being like unnecessarily belligerent, and so it's not only just is he lying, but he's like being a child about it. So that's methodologically.
Okay, Concrete, you talk with atheists, right?
Yes.
Right. And you know that within the objectionist, defensive posture of refusing to understand what you're trying to get at or what you want them to believe and end up doing, they can choose a lot of things. They can question the epistemology. They can question what kinds of things count as evidence. If he wants to object to your claim that white privilege exists and say, no, I don't think so, he doesn't, give him the space to unpack what he's trying to say.
Yeah.
Because obviously he could be talking about epistemologically. He could say he could talk about ontology. The ontology of white privilege does not ground in existence, right, Concrete?
You know what those words
Let him talk. If he wants to say it doesn't exist,
I'll answer his question.
Gentlemen, please. Go ahead, Concrete.
Yeah, ontology is the thing in its existence, in its essence, in its qualities, and then epistemology is how do you know? So that's a good question. And Big Zed, one second. And Big Zed, one second, brother. I don't need to give an exhaustive. I don't need to give an exhaustive.
Let's let Concrete go, please.
I don't need to give an exhaustive encyclopedia of philosophy.
Just go. Norm, please let
Oh
Concrete
my
go.
gosh, I'm being hurried now while I'm getting interrupted.
Concrete go. Concrete go. Okay. All right. Very well.
Congrats, Norm. You scared him away.
I enjoy it.
You're a terror, Norm. A
I
terror.
am. Yeah, but this is not effective. This is not effective.
Well, maybe we didn't want
Effective
to
to what end, Jason? Maybe not.
It's not offensive to persuading him or discouraging him, right, from his point of view. He's just like, well, you know.
to do? I wanted to intimidate him. I'm happy that I did it.
Okay, Jason. Do you think that white privilege exists, Jason?
I don't know.
Okay, that's a fair answer. You can say you don't know. Honey Badger, he'll give us a mean, honest response. Do you think white privilege exists, honey?
Yes.
Thank you. Nice and simple. I think so too.
I do not.
Okay, so why do you think it doesn't exist? Since you're the atheist of white privilege in the room.
Well, for one thing, the question of proving that something doesn't exist is a bit of a fool's errand. So, the burden is always...
Look at this. He's going to agnosticism so fast he abandons his position. Look at this guy.
bro.
New atheist.
No, you're not good at this.
Guys, you're out of control.
I'm
Guys, you're out of
saying-
control. No, let Normal go.
I'm not abandoning... By the way, I don't mind the mixed thoughts, so don't do it too much. I'm not abandoning my position. I'm stating a principle of discourse that proving a negative is not a thing. When one makes a claim, one must prove the positive claim, i.e. that XYZ exists, true or false. So, again, if you give an example, we could examine it and see if it's valid. That said,
Okay.
says you, but I will add an addendum that I don't think whiteness exists. I think whiteness is an obsolete concept, and it's a broad generalization, a catch-all term that somehow purports to include everybody from Norwegians to Greeks, from Portuguese to Swedes, and these are widely varying people and widely varying cultures. So to somehow try to paint them with this massive brush of white privilege is absurd. Now, I think it can exist historically, and you'll find again.
100,000%.
Come on. Yes. Okay. It's okay. I don't mind. So, but one must point out that Jim Crow, which expressed itself as white privilege, or I would call Jim Crow apartheid, by the way, and I was alive during it. And I'm the first one that I know to call it what it was, which was apartheid, again, while we were alive. I think there's also an important element of what you call majoritarian privilege. So in Japan, so the 2 points are A, historically yes, but the category of white is broad and I think obsolete. And point 2, is it white or is it majoritarian? Or maybe that distinction is irrelevant. I'll leave it there.
Okay. I do like that you for defining what we might mean by whiteness, which is a vague term that deserves definition in describing whether or not white privilege exists.
Just before intruding, just give me a second. Hey, Danny, I want to talk to you about Fiona's behavior. I don't know why she moved.
Could you mute this, Jason?
He doesn't know he's not muted. Just give me a second. I want to talk to Danny. Danny's my friend.
Okay, Danny's not here. All right.
Okay, so in terms of the definitions, you're correct. The illegal
Scott Smiler, Dr. Schomburg, welcome. This is the Muslims versus the Megatron of Catholicism. Bono Shalom. You're also in my new house, Isa Watermelon, the Isa Cunt Show. We're on page 60. Silence then to the Pharisees of the new synagogue. Silence to the hateful traditions of the schools, to the arrogance of Presbyterianism, to the absurdity of Jainism, and to all those shameful and superstitious interpretations of the eternal dogma, so justly stigmatized by the pitiless genius of Voltaire. Voltaire and Napoleon died Catholics. And do you know what the Catholicism of the future must be? It will be the dogma of the gospel, tried like gold by the critical acid of Voltaire, and realized in the kingdom of the world by the genius of the Christian Napoleon. Those who will not march will be dragged or trampled by events. Immense calamities may again hang over the world. The armies of the apocalypse may perhaps one day unchain the four scourges. The sanctuary will be cleansed. Rigid, holy poverty will send forth its apostles to uphold what staggers, lift up again what is broken, and anoint all wounds with sacred oils. Those two blood-hungered monsters, despotism, anarchy, will tear themselves to pieces and annihilate each other. After having mutually sustained each other for a little while by the embrace of their struggle itself. And the government of the future will be that whose model is shown to us in nature by the family, and in the religious world by the pastoral hierarchy. The elect shall reign with Jesus Christ during 1,000 years, say the apostolic traditions. That is to say that during a series of centuries, the intelligence and love of chosen men, devoted to the burden of power, will administer the interests of the wealth and the wealth of the universal family. And that day, according to the promise of the gospel, there will be no more than one flock and one shepherd. Subnote, I do not say that Voltaire died a good Catholic, but he died a Catholic. Christian authors unanimously hold that, like all heretics, he repented on his deathbed and died blaspheming. What on earth does it matter? Life, not death, reveals the soul. The number 16. 16 is the number of the temple. Let us say that the temple of the future will be when the spirit of intelligence and love shall have revealed itself. The whole Trinity will manifest itself in its truth and in its glory. Humanity become a queen, and as it were risen from the dead. We have the grace of childhood in its poesy, the vigor of youth in its reason, and the wisdom of ripe age in its works. All those forms which the divine thought has successively clothed will be born again, immortal and perfect. All those features which the art of successive nations has sketched will unite themselves and form the complete image of God. Jerusalem will rebuild the temple of Jehovah on the model prophesied by Ezekiel. Does somebody smell something? Can everybody please check their shoes? I I smell like somebody's maybe stepped in some shat outside. Can everybody check their shoes, please? I smell something here. I think he lives in Brooklyn or New York. A particular smell. Oof, nasty. Check your shoes, everyone. Let's continue on. Oof. Jerusalem. Oh my God, the scent is overwhelming. Jerusalem will rebuild the temple of Jehovah on the model prophesied by Ezekiel and the Christ. New and eternal Solomon will chant beneath roofs of cedar and of cypress the epithalamium of his marriage with holy liberty, the holy bride of the Song of Songs. But Jehovah will have laid aside his thunderbolts to bless with both hands the bridegroom and the bride. He will appear smiling between them. Take pleasure in me, O Father. However, the poetry of the East, in its magical souvenirs, will call him still Brahma, Jupiter. India will teach our enchanted climates the marvelous fables of Vishnu. And we shall place upon this the bleeding forehead of our well-beloved Christ, the triple crown of pearls and the mystical Trimurti. From that time, Venus, purified under the veil of Mary, will no more weep for her Adonis. The bridegroom is risen to die no more, and the infernal boar has found death in its momentary victory. Lift yourselves up again, O temples of Delphi, of Ephesius. Light, the god of light and of art, has become the god of the world, and the word of God is indeed willing to be called Apollo. Diana will no more reign widowed in the lonely fields of night. Her silvern crescent is now beneath the feet of the bride. But Diana is not conquered by Venus, but Endymion has wakened, and virginity is about to take pride in motherhood. Quit the tomb, O Phidias, and rejoice in the destruction of thy first Jupiter. It is now that thou wilt conceive a god. O Rome, let thy temples rise again, and side by side with thy basilicas be once more the queen of the world and the pantheon of the nations. Let Virgil be crowned on the Capitol by the hand of St. Peter, and let Olympus and Carmel unite the divinities beneath the brush of Raphael. Transfigure yourselves, ancient cathedrals of our fathers, dart forth into the clouds your chiseled and living arrows, and let stone record in animated figures the dark legends of the north, brightened by the marvelous gilded epilogues of the Quran. Let the East adore Jesus Christ in its mosques, and on the minarets of a new Santa Sophia. Let the cross rise in the midst of the crescent. Let Muhammad set woman free to give to the true believer the Horus, or the Huris, which she has so long dreamt of. And let the martyrs of the Savior teach chaste caresses to the beautiful angels of Muhammad. The whole earth reclothed with the rich adornments which all the arts have embroidered for her will no longer be anything but a magnificent temple of which man shall be the eternal priest. All that was true, all that was beautiful, all that was sweet in the past centuries, will live once more, glorified in this transfiguration of the world, and the beautiful form will remain inseparable from the true idea, as the body will one day be inseparable from the soul. body will be the temple of the soul. As the regenerated universe will be the body of God. And bodies and souls and form and thought in the whole universe will be the light, the sword, the word, and the permanent and visible revelation of God. Amen. So be it. Subnote, it says, it is amusing to remark that this very symbol is characteristic of the Greek church. That's the crescent, which he has been attacking. Levi should have visited Moscow. Okay, number 17, the equinox. 16 is the number of the star. It is that of intelligence and love. Warrior and bold intelligence, accomplice of divine Prometheus, eldest daughter of Lucifer. Hail unto thee in thine audacity. Thou didst wish to know, and in order to possess, thou didst brave all the thunders, and affronted every abyss. Intelligence, O thou, whom we poor sinners have loved to madness, to scandal, to reprobation, divine right of man, essence and soul of liberty, hail unto thee, for they have pursued thee, and trampling beneath their feet for thee the deadest dreams of their imagination, the best beloved phantoms of their heart. For thee they have been repulsed and proscribed. For thee they have suffered prison, nakedness, hunger, thirst, the desertion of those whom they loved, and the dark temptations of despair. Thou wast the right, and they have conquered thee. Now they can weep and believe. Now they can submit themselves and pray. Repentant Cain would have been greater than Abel. It is lawful pride, satisfied, which has the right to humiliate itself. I believe because I know why and how one must believe. I believe because I love and fear no more. Love, love, sublime Redeemer and sublime Restorer, thou who makest so much happiness with so many tortures, thou who did sacrifice blood and tears, thou who art virtue itself, and the reward of virtue, force of resignation, belief of obedience, joy of sorrow, life and death. Hail Megatron! Welcome back to another exciting episode of the Muslims versus Megatron.
Correct. Correct. I like this title of this room. That's why I came in here. I really felt like I got something back by kicking 65 Muslims today out of a room, just a short time too, about 4 hours. Coming back in the room, which is fucking amazing. They keep flagging my room.
I know. You know, it's really annoying. I have YouTube accounts that keep going down for community guideline strikes for hate speech, and I'm sitting there playing music, just live streaming Clubhouse in the background. When I stop playing music, somebody says something ridiculous, and it's like, you know, you can't even live stream. Clubhouse is hard to live stream because there's just so much profanity, vulgarity, and extreme concept, and you know, it's a cesspool. I call it the garbage dump, really, and I'm like a garbage man who goes around collecting garbage daily. And the greatest thing about my garbage business is I don't have to make the trip to the dump. That's the coolest thing. It's like a magic garbage truck, you know, because the hard part about doing the garbage picking is you can only pick up so much garbage. But then you got to spend hours driving far away from the city center to just dump all the garbage. And then people on Clown House go to the garbage dump to pick up my garbage and bring it back to Clubhouse. It's like, you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. I mean, who would have ever thought that you could spend so much time collecting garbage only to have the garbage be brought back to where you picked it up? It's a garbage mystery. Garbage in, garbage out. But I say, you gotta pick and choose, the garbage you want to hang on to, I guess. Because you can't destroy it. It's just like infinite amounts of garbage. And,
Three gods!
Allahu Akbar. It's so crazy to think that, after we know how Muslim men do LGBTQ, like in Afghanistan with Bachi, to think that hadith, about Aisha being a boy is controversial. Let alone, they're not even concerned about the fact that he's raping a child. They're more concerned that it's a boy and not a girl, because that would make the prophet gay. But how are they not even concerned that he's raping a child? I don't get it.
I'm trying to give them an out by saying, well, maybe it was a boy, and this is what men did when they got older. Back then, this was royalty. I'm trying to run them down this thing that the Jews did during the Second Temple period. I'm trying to go, oh well, he wanted to be more Jewish possibly, or more like Paul or some shit, right? And I'm trying to fucking get them to just, they won't even budge on it. They'd rather her still be a girl than be a boy.
Yeah,
It's fucking disturbing.
No, but that because she was a boy.
Thank you for admitting that. You know how long it took me for someone to admit that? Thank you so much. I've been waiting for God knows how long for somebody to admit that.
Oh,
I appreciate that.
Excuse me.
No, I appreciate that. Because
You're welcome.
I still think she's a boy.
Let me ask you a question. Do you believe in the papacy?
Papacy?
The Pope. Are you a follower of the Pope in the Catholic Church? You are.
Papacy. The papacy.
Papacy. Are you?
Papacy, yeah.
Okay, so you believe in the infallibility of the Pope, right?
No.
So then describe to me, how would you describe the Pope?
Man in office.
So he's just the president.
Last comment.
He's the president of the Christian faith, or Christendom in a way, for the West. But then he's got all these offshoots that he's got to deal with. Did you know there's a Pope in Spain? Have you seen that Pope and his videos and the magnificence of that church?
Yes.
Unbelievable. I see it on Facebook all the time.
Here, the Spanish Pope, Alexander.
Anyways, my point is, I was going to ask this earlier in your room, but you kicked me to the goo. And my question is, even if, we debate a million different conversations and, you've got an infinite time to do all the debates, I've heard it said that the now is always the point. And so in that way, the material world, or, the subjective world, is ultimately always the point of the subjective. So how do you rationalize what you do, knowing that, in my opinion, obviously, I'm framing it this way, that the now is ultimately always back to the point. I like your style and your shtick, and I think the God conversation is the way to go, but you're always left with the same outcome. So how do you concur with that in a way or not? Hello?
I think you're right. I think that I am a glutton for punishment. And I've tried my best to make peace with the Muslims, but I think my arguments are so potent, they're so strong, that it's very difficult for them to respond without the whataboutism. And you know how I roll. Once they do the whataboutism, that's it. It's a wrap. They're saying, yeah, but what about you? You get what I mean? So they're just conceding. And I don't want them to concede. I want them to fucking respond and shut it down. But I think the arguments are so strong. They're so potent. It's like, you know what it is? It's like when you break up the weed and you just keep the keef. Those are my arguments. My argument are on keef, pure keef level. If we're gonna compare it to like weed. And I'm told I have to lose arguments in order to speak to them.
Why do you think the Ottoman Empire banned, bells, in the Muslim faith? Like, why would they ban bells? Because I see Islam as being like a way to essentially negate dopamine in order to maintain the concept of Allah. And so, by covering women, by not having bells, by doing the opposite of what Christians do, they, create their simulation or their in-group. So I'm just saying that, the bell is mystical. And I mean, they may say you can't ring bells, but by doing that, that's like putting a prohibition on it. And thus it makes it even more intoxicating and exciting to, revolt against the government and ring a bell. Hello? And many people ask me regularly, what's the truth of the earth? And do you know about death and birth? And I just say that the truth of the earth and the truth about death and birth really is always the N-O-W. And backwards that spells one. Not O-N-E, but W-O-N. And that's the truth of the earth and about birth and death. And silence is ultimately what you're left with at the end of the day. Hello? Thank you, Barf.
I love you, babe. Love you, babe. Hurry up back.
He loves his babe.
That's love.
That's love.
I love you, babe.
Okay, we were doing what's called a book reading here. I call it meditation. But this is the number 17. Oh, this is an interesting question for you. Repentant Cain would
my prescription was only $8 and it went down. $8.84. Wow, look at that. That's a whole lot of. I don't know. I must have done something. Yeah, right. Sorry about that.
Repentant Cain would have been greater than Abel. It is lawful pride, satisfied, which has the right to humiliate itself. I believe because I know why and how one must believe. I believe because I love and fear no more. Love, love, sublime Redeemer and sublime Restorer, thou who makest so much happiness, with so many tortures, thou who didst sacrifice blood and tears, thou who art virtue itself, and the reward of virtue, force of resignation, belief of obedience, joy of sorrow, life of death. Hail, salutation, and glory to thee. If intelligence is a lamp, thou art its flame. If it is right, thou art duty. If it is nobility, thou art happiness. Love, full of pride and modesty in thy mysteries. Divine love, hidden love, love insensate and sublime. Titan, takest heaven in both hands and force it into earth. Final and ineffable secret of Christian widowhood. Love eternal, love infinite, ideal which would suffice to create worlds. Love, love, blessing and glory to thee. Glory to the intelligences which veil themselves that they may not offend weak eyes. Glory to right which transforms itself wholly into duty and which becomes devotion. To the widowed souls who love, burn up without being loved. To those who suffer and make none other suffer. To those who forgive the ungrateful. To those who love their enemies. Oh, happy evermore. Happy beyond all are those who embrace offered, who have drained themselves to the dregs to give. Happy are the souls who forever make thy peace. Happy the pure and the simple hearts that never think themselves better than others. Humanity, my mother. Humanity, daughter and mother of God. Humanity, conceived without sin. Universal Church. Mary, happy is he who has dared all to know thee and to understand thee, and who is ready to suffer all once more in order to serve thee and to love thee.
Yo, Nargis, you want to know my type? Danny's my type. 100%.
I love Johnny.
Oh my god. So my type. I'm not even joking.
I love her so much.
Yeah, she's fucking great.
Danny, welcome to the Muslims versus the Megatron of Catholicism. Megatron is saying you remind him of Mary, that sweet, blissful, beautiful, happy innocence.
Metatron with a T.
No. We're talking to Megatron and another Megatron.
Oh, are you? Okay. Oh, okay. It's a cartoon. I'm sorry.
Metatron is the angel.
Yeah, sorry. That's what it looked like at first. Because you're doing Muslim, and then you have Megatron, but you need Metatron, not Megatron.
No. We got Megatron, the barth of Catholicism, in another room leading a fight. He has already excommunicated 60 heretics.
I don't fully understand, but okay. Archangel Metatron.
Okay, I just removed Todd from the room because there's just too much background noise there to deal with right now. We're trying to have a soft, quiet space.
So soft.
is here. By the way, I also have Issa the Cunt show going on in the Issa Watermelon House. Issa okay to do that? Some people get upset. They're like, why do you have so many phones? Why do you have so many Clubhouse accounts? And I just say, why do you have so many questions? You know, like, why do I make you so angry? What is it about me? Is it me personally? Like, is it my life? Is it my communication style? Is it my aesthetic? Is it my smell?
It's your ability to come in and hypnotize people, and a lot of people get very jealous because they can't do that. They don't, even if they study, they're not talented enough to know how to do it. So they get very upset. They get very jealous, and they get very
Jealousy.
Yeah.
Anger. Envy.
Is that big?
What's the opposite of envy? Love?
Lust.
The opposite of no. The opposite of love is apathy. It's not hate. The opposite of envy.
No, envy is lust.
Envy is not lust. Envy is
The opposite.
The opposite of envy is not lust. Envy is
Yes,
like
it is.
no.
That's ChatGPT.
The opposite could be fulfilled,
Fulfillment, exactly.
We got the
Yeah,
green
that's
tree.
lust.
How is fulfillment lust?
No. You said
Lust is
the
a negation.
opposite.
Yeah, the opposite.
The opposite of envy.
Of envy.
It's acceptance.
I said love. I said love because envy is like covetousness.
Yes, actually, you're right. That could,
So
it could be.
if you want to love your neighbor, you would not practice envy, you would practice love. I mean, anyways, you get the
But love
anyways.
is acceptance.
They see
Well,
generosity.
you need to look this up because I
What did they
think I
say?
know, right?
Generosity.
The problem with the word apathy is if you break it down, it's apathy, a path. So people use apathy always in a negative light, and I would challenge that assumption. Hello?
Hello? I think goodwill would be perhaps the most apt antonym for envy.
We got Rubenchik here. Rubenchik loves to open rooms and just sit there, cool as a clam, letting people just like destroy themselves with their narrative. That's the Rubenchik shtick.
Oh, Ruben. That is so cool. It's so kind.
See, if you let people talk enough, ultimately they become the hypocrite. I've realized that. Like at a bar, I'm sitting there talking. And after so many years of talking, I said to this, F word. I was like, you know what? I was like, eventually, you just become a hypocrite if you just keep talking long enough. And he was like, exactly, bitch. I was like, yeah, hypocrite. So, this is the Church of Butter and Cup. Your life is what you put inside your cup. I hope it's sweet like butter. Not many people view fat as being sweet, but when I drink whole milk, it's sweet to me. Delicious. Do you live your life with envy? Do you wish you were as good as the Megatron, as good as Dr. Good himself? Are you jealous that his communication style is efficacious and his knowledge of epistemology and ontology is supreme? Just can't beat him, so might as well join him. That's what I say. Oh, we have a surprise guest star. Welcome to the show, the world famous Abby Eva, destroyer of worlds. Hello, Abby. I think Abby has waged a very successful military campaign against the far right. Who tried to wrench it?
Why would you say that?
She deserves a moderation.
You've destroyed the world for these people. And look, Brother Keegan is here. He was so upset with me. You were lying about Brad. You never called the police. Well, brother, don't you know sometimes just putting it out there is good enough? And that's what
No, do not turn. You're over here shifting. You're turning the tables. You're creating revisionist history. You said to everyone you lied. You're not a man of honor.
I will not be insulted on my stage. I'm no liar, sir. I've told you completely what I've done. Just put it out there on X. We'll play these childish games with Keegan. Get back to work. Get back to the auto shop. So, Abby, you are in the Church of Bata and Cup. I hope your cup is always sweet, overflowing with joy,
And you were right. The opposite of it's not lust. I was wrong. It's charity.
Charity.
Generosity, like Danny said.
Charity, generosity, yeah, stuff like that.
Goodwill, admiration.
Yeah, it's the opposite. Yeah. I'm thinking lust because I saw Danny came into the room. And that's all I could think of is the word lust, and I couldn't get my just.
Danny has such a crush on you.
Whatever. I'm over it.
She's just real. That's why I like real people. Abby too.
All right, we're going to continue this blessed sacred meditation. This is page 66. The gospel says that at the death of the Savior, the veil of the temple was rent. Because that death manifested the triumph of devotion, the miracle of charity, the power of God in man, divine humanity, the human and human divinity, the highest and most sublime of arcana, the last word of all initiations. But the Savior knew that at first man would not understand him, and he said, you will not be able to bear at present the full light of my doctrine. But when the Spirit of truth shall manifest himself, he will teach you all truth. And he will cause you to understand the sense of what I have said unto you. Now the Spirit of truth is the spirit of science and intelligence, the spirit of force and of counsel. It is that spirit which solemnly manifested itself in the Roman Church when it declared in the 4 articles of its decree on the 12th of December, 1845. First degree, that if faith is superior to reason, reason ought to endorse the inspirations of faith. Second degree, that faith and science have each their separate domain, and that those strengthen and develop reason. Fourth degree, that the concourse of reason, which examines not the decisions of faith, the natural and rational bases of the authority which decides them, far from injuring faith, can only be useful to it. In other words, that a faith perfectly reasonable in its principles should not fear, but should, on the contrary, desire the sincere examination of reason. Such a decree is the accomplishment of a complete religious revolution. It is the inauguration of the reign of the Holy Ghost upon the earth. What is the Holy Ghost, Barth? This is a mystery to me.
You want an Old Testament or a New Testament explained?
Let's go with the new.
The Holy Spirit is the love that spirates from the Father and the Son. So once the Father and the Son, the two knowers, know it, and they reveal it. They reveal it through the Spirit. So in Genesis 1:1 and 1:2, he's going to say, in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. Right? That's the Word. The Word is creating. The earth was formless and deep. As the Spirit of God hovered over. I think he hovers over the deep or something like that. I think I botched that one. But yeah, so you see Father, Son, and Holy Spirit right in the beginning there. That's the reason why John, the prologue for John 1:1 is in the beginning was the Word. The Word was with God, and the Word was God. Because the Word is God. The Word became flesh and dwelt among us. In other words, the Logos, the eternal God, became a man and lived like a man among us. He was identified, he was numbered with the transgressors. Yo, that's how I know sometimes, bro. Not for nothing, Smiler. But I think your boy, honestly, man, and I love that he does it too. I think he listens into our conversations sometimes to get some influence. Like, yo, we had a good ass run for like a good month. And when he was debating the Jake the Italian metaphysician, the Italian Muslim metaphysician, and he brought up that 2946, and I've heard him say he was identified, numbered with the transgressors. That I'm the only nigga out here saying shit like that. He said it. I'm thinking to myself like, yo, he must have heard me, bro. He must have heard me, because that's some straight up fucking what's that guy's name again? The one that I gave you? Billy Graham? Oh shit. I get on my Billy Graham, it's a rap. Who do they say that I am? He said, no, Peter. I don't care what they say. What do you say? Who do you say that I am? God, Christ, the Son of the living God. Peter, you did well, Peter. But those weren't your thoughts. Those thoughts came from God. It was God who revealed it to you. I love the Billy Graham, man. You gotta listen to that. Listen, you have, Mr. Universe, you have to listen to Who is Jesus? By Billy Graham in 1973. Is it 73 or 77? I forget. It might be 77. Hey, guys, enough. You're gonna hurt each other. And stop jumping on the couch with the iPads on the thing. Put it over there, the iPad. Hello? Hello?
I heard you say something interesting once. I think I heard you say that Jesus freed the Gnostics. Or Jesus frees the Gnostics.
I never said that. Did I say that? I think I heard you say that.
I thought I heard you say it one time. Oh, no, you plugged the link. You put a link up, and it was some Gnostic book or something. But it said something in there that Jesus even frees the Gnostics. And I was like, does that mean because, like, basically, doing duality versus non-duality. So like if you're always in the non-dual state, basically you're like addicted to being in union with God, and that can ultimately, it has to be a fine balance. You know, too much is too much, because then you neglect the objective material world, and your garbage doesn't get taken out and your dishes don't get washed. Hello.
Jesus was the duality in our system. He makes the model complex in order for our realization for material.
The only religion that has ever been truly dualistic with that and has kept to it is Zoroastrianism.
Yes.
It's the truest dualistic when it talks about evil. But you see, when I asked Mr. Mikael, aka Cynic, aka Lumi, I asked him once, and it made him feel really uncomfortable. I said, "What is the distinction? What are the commonalities of the devil and Christ?" And he kind of shelled up, kind of thought I was trolling. And I'm like, no, I'm like, do you not realize that this is the book of Job? This is Zechariah chapter 3. This is like, there's always going to, it's because the Christian religion is not dualistic. It's not about good and evil.
No, it's not.
It's not. And when you compare, right, when we have the devil, Satan, or should I say Lucifer, right, and Jesus, right, he's saying to you almost like, just as good as Jesus is, he is that representation also of the bad. And you know what? Some people are just not comfortable with that.
So,
and that's the reason why you ever look in the Vatican and they have that big, huge thing, the black thing that looks like, you know, like they're in, it looks like they're in hell or something. That big, huge black. You'll see it. It's in the Vatican. It's in one of their newest cathedrals or whatever, and it looks like this hell like going on in the background, right? Because that's what it represents. You know, he is the light of justice, but he's also, you know, the King of Kings, the Lord of Lords, the one that he knows no one's name, the fire in his eyes, the tongue as sharp as a sword. He's dripped in blood. Like, he's not playing. You know?
Rasa and Ahriman, where like one is a supreme being, right? That which is truth, light, versus Ahriman, which is in who all evil is sourced, right? And this duality solves the problem of evil, basically. One can posit evil to Ahriman and posit all goodness to the Ahura Mazda. It's monotheistic and yet dualistic in its model. It's brilliant.
There's a saying in Zen that I came from brilliance and I return to brilliance. So, you know, we hope that every man and every woman can come to the realization that they themselves are a star. And Clown House is the microcosm of the macrocosm, because we are all on a stage and we are all stars. And when you understand, you know, the opportunity cost of being here versus being outside in the sun, taking a jog through the park, looking at the little squirrels saying, "Hey, give me a peanut." Or you see a little bunny rabbit like Abby run around, shocked when you say, "Where's the coupons?" And she goes, "I don't have any coupons." You know? So, the purpose Church of Buttercup is not Reese's. It's not chocolate. And it's not even peanut butter. It's you who are the cup. And what you put inside of yourself every day is very important. Because everyone likes to cook in butter. Oh, Nora Bandura is here. Maybe we can fill up Nora with some more light today, instead of all the darkness of the far right and her lover, Nora and Diego. Little sexual conflict there still. Never really quite had sex. I never had sex with that woman, Miss Lewinsky. Well, everybody, you are now witnessing the most exciting room on Clown House. The Muslims versus the Megatron of Catholicism. Megatron, if you had one message to all the Muslims on the whole planet Earth right now, what would you want all the Muslim brains across the entire planet to know? Almighty Megatron.
Jesus will never be a Muslim.
This will never be a Muslim.
Oh, Jesus.
Lord Jesus, King, Son of the Father, never, ever, ever be a Muslim. But you got respect for Islam, right? Because it is a world religion, and that really is a monolith. And there are three major monoliths.
I do not. No, I do not respect any religion who desecrates Christ. So they're going to hell. I really want to tell them they're going to fucking hell for desecrating Christ and for building on the Temple Mount. That's really what I want to tell them. That's really what I say to them on a daily basis. Like, your Umar, the Jew, cursed you guys. He cursed your religion. Because if he knew the scriptures, he would have read 2 Thessalonians chapter 1 through 12, and it's exactly who the man of perdition is. He sets himself up in the temple of God, saying that he is God. That's exactly what Islam did with Muhammad. They're saying that his words in that book is God. And then they built on the Temple Mount. So I wish them all the best. I really do. I wish them all the best, but all of the shortcomings, all of the things that are happening to them are going to continue to happen to them. Because as long as they think that Jesus is going to come back, to break the cross, kill the pig, kiss the trees where the Jews are hiding, as long as they keep this in their doctrine, they're going to hell.
So thanks for that, Almighty Megatron. We do have some Muslims in the audience, and I was looking at what Nora Bandura has in her profile, and it's very beautiful and wonderful, and I would just say that I find that to be, most expeditious or expedited, The thing is, you don't want to wait in a long line with no coupons. If you have to wait in a long line, well, you better have some coupons. And so, in the Church of Buttercup, we're very much focused on what we listen to and what we say. And if we have to talk slowly, because we don't want to rush, that's okay. The truth of the earth, from your birth to your death, with all the knowledge of the earth and your birth and your death, truth of the earth, with no good book, and if you don't even go to the gym and you don't stretch, well, you're going to have lower back pain. And that's a truth that you can't get out from under without having to do the work of stretching and breathing. Not many Christians or Muslims are going to do a class on breathing, but they should, because breathing is the truth of the earth. Because if you stop breathing, there will be no more earth, there will be no more birth, just you're deaf. And when you're deaf, it doesn't just mean you can't hear nothing. It really means that you can't ever hear anything ever again because you've experienced death. And that's the truth of the earth. Don't die. You know, now you are alive. But you want to stay alive for as long as you can to experience the truth of the earth all the time. Because it's beautiful and it's lovely and it's intelligent. It's not Smiler. Welcome to the Muslims versus the Megatron of Catholicism. What is your truth, Dr. Schomburg?
What is truth?
It's your truth.
Half this room is just ionic supplements, but it gives the illusion that there's more people here than there truly is. But it's just being multiplied multiple times over.
And I just want to point out the truth that Isa is a cunt in another room, but the Lord here is not Isa, but it gives the feeling that Isa is here. And the funny thing about Isa is she has conditioned so many people on this app with this stupid PTR. But the truth is, it doesn't matter how many times you condition someone, if you are a cunt, it won't really matter. You can condition your other people with kunt philosophy. But the truth of the earth is that a kunt is a kunt. And you gotta do your kunt. And you gotta clean it. And I think a lot of kunts out there, they're always talking about this pH level. And we all know, what is the perfect pH number? Is it 4? Anyways. It's neither here nor there. Oh, 7, that's right. 7. And if you're a 4, are you a base or are you an acid?
Acid.
You're an acid. So, I guess the point is you don't want an acidic cunt, and you don't want a basic cunt. You want to maintain that perfect 7. Now, I'm willing to go out with a 7. But if I can get to an 8 or a 9, oh, oy vey, or a 10. 10 is truly the most perfect number because it represents the universe. And that universe can be represented by the Holy Kabbalah. Not many Christians or Jews or Catholics or Muslims will ever admit that the philosophy of the Kabbalah is actually the totality of all the religions mixed into one bubble gum that you can put in your mouth and chew like a curd. Now, if you want to become like a cow and say moo, that's okay, because moo is a 3-letter word and mo is a 2-letter word. And Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon that magical man. Welcome, Mr. Wolfie. The Muslims versus the Megatron, the final battle. Megatron, what's the second message you'd like all the Muslims on planet Earth to know, other than that Jesus will never become a Muslim?
Jesus will never be a Muslim. No matter how many fake profiles are in this room.
You've already said that. We don't want to be redundant.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I was just repeating what you said. All right, I'm sorry. Let me start over. If any Muslim condemns the what's this guy's name again? The conspiracy now with the files. What was his name again? I'm having a brain fart. Everyone's talking about it. The state. What is it called again?
Wait, what are you asking? I wasn't.
Who's the guy that has this the prostitution ring? What's his name?
Jeffrey Epstein.
Epstein. So if any Muslim condemns Epstein, they are literally condemning their prophet. That's it.
Beat that for us, Megatron.
If they think the Epstein thing is bad, then then they're condemning Muhammad. Because how could they think that what he did was bad, but then are okay defending that their morality is for all time, but then in the same sentence contradict themselves and say, well, that was then and this is now. Well, that doesn't work. Then the morality, so then it does change. No, it doesn't change. And you're like, wait. Okay, so will you marry off your daughter when she's 9? Like, what kind of... Think of the conversation. Think of the conversation we're having for Muslims.
This is a little bit like people who think that we have to increase spending with education or with Medicare, Medicaid. We can't spend our way out of this problem. We have to grow our way out of this problem. And until individuals can admit that, growth or more moral understanding or knowledge of the law, unless people are willing to admit that they're fools, they'll never grow out of this dilemma. And, look at Epstein. He's 99.99%, gone, dead and buried, probably cremated, who knows. And, Bill Gates is giggling on TV, and he's still talking about mass vaccination. Some people are obsessed with certain topics and categories. For some people, the vaccine is the sexiest thing in the world to them because they know governments will continue to borrow and spend to manufacture them. And it is a national geostrategic security issue because, we are still investing in biolabs at scale and researching chemical, biological, warfare. And it's madness. But it's neither here nor there in the Church of Buttercup. I see we have Caleb in the audience. And, Buttercup and Rose were in the room earlier. And I just got to say, Rose wants all of us to be terrified. She said it yesterday. She said, you should all be terrified. We should all be terrified. Because if they can do this to the Palestinians, they can do this to us. And that type of fear-mongering is not based in wisdom, knowledge, understanding, or any type of comprehension at all with regards to God. And that's why they keep saying, nonstop, their mantra is, this is not a religious war. They have to keep repeating that to themselves because it is a confirmation bias of their position. And so, I like you, Barth, because you want to talk about the GOD. And that's great. And education is great, but fear-mongering and political propaganda and distorting facts and causing emotional disturbances by kicking over hornets' nests, it's just going to take, a highly vaccinated, double-boosted, triple-vaxxed, liberal, leftist, socialist, communist, atheist to basically do their shtick, which is performative artwork. And to kick over hornets' nest and scream like a banshee. Hello? Hello? on your connecting flight to Iran?
Yeah, just a little bit over turbulence over here in Pakistan. They're celebrating 4th of July during this time of the year.
Too bad. I hear that they, Barth had a great rumor earlier about Aisha's box and whether or not she served in the military conquest campaigns. Barth, did you ever come to any resolution whether or not Aisha was a boy involved in a pedophilic homosexual relationship with
They'd rather defend their prophet Swalala Walayhi Wasalam and call him they'd rather call him a child abuser of women than call him a homosexual. I'm trying to give them outs. I even asked ChatGPT, and you know what ChatGPT said to me, because it knows me so well. I'm going to tell you what it said to me, right? And it said, why you might feel this way, Barth. Let's explore that rationally. Discomfort with the age reports, 6 or 9 narrations in Bukhari and Muslim. The psychological difficulty accepting the narrative. Wanting a clear alternative explanation. That explicit makes sense emotionally, Bart. Historically, if you want strong arguments in this debate, you need defensible grounding, and we don't have it. So it's telling me, I understand why you're emotional, why you want to find an out, why you feel the need to try this, to go down this road of trying to eliminate a female from this action so that it looks like he has a little sense of dignity in saying that he wouldn't fuck a 9-year-old girl. Like, I want that for him. I'd rather say he was in his desires than actually be that fucking devil, garbage human being. You understand? Like, he can reconcile the boy thing. We can reconcile the boy thing. Like, her being a girl, I'm not so sure if any man can reconcile that. You know, that boy would have grew up and fucked Muhammad. You get what I'm saying? That boy would have grew up and said, blow me, motherfucker, and he would have done it. It's not the same. It's not the same as a man taking advantage of a girl that is helpless. So I'm just stuck, and I want to reconcile. I want clarity.
I think they destroyed the original Quran, and now we don't know this information. Otherwise, we would have seen the same exact rights Aisha had with other women in modern days.
Say, are you willing to die on this hill? Because a lot of people just want to do redundancies and repetitions, and that's cool if it's successful. If you've got a shtick that people have become hypnotized with, well then you found some type of formula for essentially getting people to return, and a return customer is the basis of a good business. You can't launch a new business every day and rebrand. It's got to be consistent. And I think Mike has always preached consistency as the root of success. And Narjas here is saying there's so much hate, but I would say Narjas is technically spending a lot of time in hate rooms. This isn't a hate room in any way, shape, or form. This is the final battle. I hope that this room will once and for all eliminate all future debates and conversations. For Catholics and Christians, Jews and Hindus, Buddhists and Muslims, I hope that this room will satisfy all receipts and demands and debts, and we can pay it all off with a public note instrument. That instrument might be Freemasonry, ladies and gentlemen, because that's a brotherhood where Muslims, Jews, and Catholics, guess what, come together, but they have to declare a one God. And it's not just that they declare they believe in a God, but they declare their faith in the one G-O-D.
Point of order, moderator, point of order.
Point of order, moderator.
But the other thing too is men of different faiths come together in prison.
Sheikh, hold on a second. Narja is speaking. She's requested a point of order.
Thank you. Not Christian or Jew or Muslim. Not Hindu, Buddhist, Sufi or Zen. Not any religion or cultural system. I am not from the East nor from the West. I am not from the ocean or from the ground. I am not natural or ethereal. I am not composed of any elements at all. I do not exist. I am not an entity in this world or of the next. I did not descend from Adam or Eve or any origin story. My place is the placeless, a trace of the traceless. I am neither body nor soul. I belong to the beloved. I have seen the two worlds, only as one. And that one call to and know, the first, the last, the outer, the inner, only that breath, the breathing human being. That's what I am. Point of order, moderator.
If a Muslim to respond, if you want to get modded to kick this kafir to the goo, you can do that if that'll make you feel fulfilled in your faith.
Can I respond from the Muslim perspective?
Yeah.
This is the utmost interesting topic. Not only do men come together of different faiths in Freemasonry, but different men of different faiths come together in prison.
We also have Joanna. Welcome, Joanna, to the stage. I feel like Joanna and our great Megatron here are like cousins or brothers and sisters. You two sound like you're from the same family. That's not true, right?
Oh, who else? Megatron?
Sound like you're from the same family.
Yeah, we live next door. I know Megatron in real life. What do they call it? IRL? Why, you can hear it?
Small world.
Well, it's a small world. Here it is, right here.
Well, this is going to be the last and final room of all time for all religious debates here on the app. It's the final battle in the Church of Buttercup. We hope to once and for all satisfy all curiosity, all demands, all exceptions to the debate, the never-ending, endless debate that Barth and others have been creating here day after day. And today, Barth admitted that he was so proud because he kicked 60 Muslims out of his room. It made him feel great, like he was cleaning up the streets or something.
Like deportation.
Is Barth an ICE agent?
Possibly.
It's all making sense now. He's a clubhouse ICE agent.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, I've got to alert the liberals. Oh my God. They're not illegals. They're trying to become legal.
I know 4 people who got deported already.
Oh my God. Well, do you know what's his face on here, right?
Yeah. You know him?
He claims that he got deported to Mexico. I think he's full of shit.
What's his face?
No, I think it's true. I have some kind of
Who?
I'm afraid to say.
Edmund, who is it?
We don't have to say his name.
Alright, I'll write it in.
Diego?
Okay, read it and delete it after.
I'm drawing a blank. It'll come to me.
Describe.
So I want to thank
Oh, okay.
everybody
You can
coming.
delete it. I don't know this guy.
Yeah, Hermes. So I want to thank everybody for coming. This is a meditation room because Clubhouse is nothing but toxicity. So let's maintain our equilibrium.
Point of order, moderated.
Exactly. Robert's rules.
Really? Really?
Yeah, look up Robert's rules.
Oh, I thought you meant Robert T.
Oh, Robert Taylor. He's casting me in movies. He's a horrible director producer. His movies are really shit.
Yeah, why are you
For a
being
guy who
casted
loves
in that
movies-
movie?
He loves movies so much, but he can't put together anything. He can't even write. It's like, see, the thing is, you're a good writer if you're a good reader. Reading and writing are like the same thing. And if you read somebody who's really well written, well, that makes you a good writer if you read their book. And I've been reading a lot of good
I wrote
books.
3 books. They're on Amazon. Can I get?
Yeah, I know. You're awesome. Put the link in the chat again.
Okay.
You're doing a great job. It's your business there.
Oh yeah, I got
Yeah,
another
let's go.
200 this month.
Give me $200.
Yeah, but that's I want to go bigger. I want to get it out there to like I wrote to Oprah. But they never read their mail.
I'm not gonna publish it unless they got like an interest or like your name or something.
Yeah, wait a
Maybe you should start a cult. And
I love cults.
yeah, not many people really think about it, but if you think about it, you can
Think
claim
about
that
that.
everything is. You can claim that
I
everything
do.
is a cult.
I think about cults all the time.
Because a call and a T, you're just calling people into categories. That's really all cults are. And so if you claim that you're a cult deprogrammer, well, guess what? You run a cult of cult deprogramming. And so I've been reading about how to decondition people from very hardcore cults because there's a lot of really crazy cults out there in the Hindu faith, in the Jewish faith, and many of these people are trapped and they can't get out. They've got no other options. They can't operate in the sound of the world. They don't know how to go to the grocery store and save money with coupons. They don't know how to create a Craigslist.
Exactly. That's what I'm here for. That's why I wrote books.
You wrote a book. I'll read it.
Yeah, about how to save coupons in Germany, even though we don't have coupons.
You know, my daughter saves people from cults. That's what she does.
Oh,
She
really?
left her cult. Yeah.
Oh, that's much more interesting, honey. For me, it's just to save a few cents on the grocery. The coupon code.
Yeah, my daughter saves people. It's called Healing from a Cult. Healing from Cults. She has a business. She has a website. She has a YouTube. She has a podcast. She hypnotizes people to get them deprogrammed. She's a hypnotherapist like you.
Like John Principle?
Universe.
Blue, welcome to the room, Blue.
Hey, Blue. True blue, baby, I love you.
Blue moon. Let's think about songs that have the word blue in it.
Blue velvet.
Oh, good. Blue suede shoe.
Blue suede shoes. I love blue velvet. Blue velvet.
Zalani, welcome to the room, Zalani.
You're so bad.
Zalani is a trans. Look out, everybody. We have a they, them on stage.
Is that for real?
It's trans. 1 for the money, 2 for the show.
3 to get ready and 4 to